Okay, so I think it's safe to say we currently have a big problem with censorship going on. And a good example, and I'm not getting political with this, but when YouTube announced their policy on disputing the election, they're going to start deleting videos that contest the status of the election. And furthermore, and more insidiously, they are going to copyright strike people that make videos on it after the election. There was a time on this platform when you had freedom, not anymore. And it seems this is the summer where censorship and cancellation has come to a head. We are in a society where you can practically lose your job because you said something offensive 10 years ago. An AEW wrestler was made to go through sensitivity training before he could return to the ring because of an inappropriate comment he made about Sasha Banks 3 years ago, before AEW was even formed. Yeah, I don't know about the rest of you, but I don't think a job should have that kind of authority to punish you for making an inappropriate comment that happened before your company even existed. We've seen trigger warnings put on movies like Gone with the Wind, and even movies temporarily taken down from streaming services. We've seen activist groups call games like Cyberpunk transphobic and say that people that brought the game should give $70 to a trans individual out of reparation. We've seen content edited and censored, and this is just the beginning. It's going to get worse. It may start here, but it never ends here. And it's affecting a lot of things, including our art. When YouTube says you can't make videos on this, it's affecting our freedom to be creators. When it affects art, it affects the creativity of movies, and it's hilarious to think that an 80-year-old movie should have to conform to modern day sensibilities. It should not. Films, for better or for worse, are a time machine. They can take us to the past. We can see a glimpse of what things were back then, or a glimpse of the optimism of what people hoped could happen in the future. We could be made to laugh, cry, feel scared. We've seen courageous heroes, great heroic determination. We've seen horrific villainy in films, and we have all these things because it's been free to dare to be creative. But now we've had people who have emerged from the shadows, crying louder and louder, a very vocal minority use who have perfected weapons like social media shaming that come on and call for cancellation, call to edit and censor this, and shame people as racist or whatever phobic you want to throw out there if they dare speak against it. It's freedom that is at stake here. It's not just simple censorship. These films are a representation of what our society was, what it is, what it could become. Not only do they represent the best, well, not just films, even video games. I'll throw that in there too. Not only do they represent the best of what we have been and what we could become, but they also shine a light on the worst of what we have been and what we could become. Some things, frankly, need to be offensive or thought provoking or shocking to get the message across. And with the rise of cancel culture, they're targeting that. And if you can control the media, if you can control the art we consume, you shape the future. I'm going to ask a question now, and I'm going to answer it at the end of the video. There are two prices for freedom. One is the price paid by the soldiers who died defending it and served to defend it. There is a second price. What's that? But I'm going to get to that in the end. As I was saying, if you can control the media, you can social engineer and shape the future. You can put the propaganda in. Back during Nazi Germany, imagine a man who, when they started rounding up the Jews, said, "Oh, that's not me, I'm not concerned." Then they came for the gypsies. "That's not me, I'm not concerned." They came for the cripples. "Oh, I'm not crippled, I'm not concerned." And one day, knock on his door, and they came for him, and there was nobody to speak up for him because he didn't speak up for everybody. And that is what's happening right now with this cancel culture. They're whittling away at our freedom of expression, at our boldness in shaming, making people afraid to stand up for fear of being labeled a racist or whatever phobic, even though they're not. And it could have dire consequences for the future. People like this will always be waiting in the shadows for the opportune moment to step into the forefront, to push their agendas. The mustache twirling villains, not looking for them, easy to spot. These are the most insidious ones because they're the villains that step in cloaked in good deeds, acting like they're something they're not when their true intentions are much darker. So, what is the other price for freedom? This is the price we owe everyone that's fought for our freedom and fought for our freedom and died. It's vigilance. We cannot afford to fall asleep on the wall. We have to watch out for things like cancel culture, and we have to stand up and say no. We have to endure the storm of weaponized social media shaming and fight through it. We have to show that no, these people are wrong. We're not this or that because we believe this. And if we don't, we truly deserve whatever comes next. And not just in our freedoms to create, but our freedoms. But make no mistake, part of this culture war is defending our art, our films, our creativity, because if they can control that, they've already won the battle and the war. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe. Over and out.